Arbor Realty Stock, ticker symbol ABR. This stock is up roughly 17% year to date, which is similar to the S&P 500, which is also up 17%. But for ABR it has been quite the ride so far, going down roughly 30% to the lowest point year to date, but after that they climbed it roughly 50% up to their new year to date high. The reason why people love ABR stock is of course because of the dividend yield of 10%. And take a look at that growth rate and streak. On the 5th of May, ABR presented quarter results where they beat on EPS and revenue. For the upcoming earnings, analysts have a mixed feeling. So does this mean that ABR stock is a buy at current prices? Well, I'm very excited to see what you guys think about this stock, so please let me know your thoughts in the comments. My name is Thomas and this is Thomas Invest. I'm an investor looking for great stocks at great prices. So, what does ABR do? Arbor Realty Trust Inc is a specialized real estate finance company. And this is very important. It is not a REIT but a finance company. It invests in a diversified portfolio of structured finance assets in the multifamily and commercial real estate markets. If we dive in the most recent investor presentation, we see that ABR reported a $0.62 per share distributable earnings, which is 20 cents in excess of the current dividend, resulting into a payout ratio of 68%, which is pretty nice. And of course, this is probably one of the main things people focus on. Dividends are safe. ABR has 11 years of dividend growth and has the lowest payout ratio in the industry. Next to that, they have a 19.7% return on equity in the most recent quarter, which is a really good number. They also have a 45% increase in book value over the last 3 years. And what I think is really interesting, ABR bought back 37 million of stock at an average of 10.53, representing a 17% discount to book value. In my opinion, this was a great management decision and also one of the reasons why ABR has a 126 5-year total shareholder return. ABR has a deep focus on stable multifamily senior loans and geo-diversification. Total portfolio is at 13.6 billion with an average loan size of 19.1 million. Bridge represents 97% of the loan type, and 91% of the assets is a multifamily home. And if we take a look at the geo breakdown, we see that Texas is the biggest segment at 24%, which is quite a lot in my opinion. But it has to be said that other than that, it looks really good to me. And then here we see dividends one more time. Most recently, ABR increased dividends with 2 cents. And we see that dividends have increased really nice and steady over a longer period of time. And the thing that I like here the most, payout ratio has been decreasing over a longer period of time, which is really good. And now that we know more about the company, it's time to check the fundamentals of this stock. But first, if you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you a lot for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to receive multiple analyses every week, and join my Discord channel for free to meet other people within the community and to talk about stocks. It's completely free, so don't miss it out. Let's continue by diving into the fundamentals. Arbor Realty is a 2.87 billion market cap company. PE ratio is at 8, which could indicate that they are undervalued right now. Later in this video I will show you my 3 price targets for ABR, so make sure to watch until the end, because PE ratio is only telling a small part of the full story here. Revenue is at 657 million, and in this graph we see that revenue went up really nice and steady. Over a longer period of time, margins are decreasing a bit, which is of course not a good thing. Definitely keep an eye on this number, but it has to be said that right now it is still at a really good number. EPS is also going up in the long run and starts to come down a little bit most recently. To me, this is nothing to worry about for now. Analysts have a mixed feeling about the coming years. In 2023 it is expected to see a 6% increase in EPS. But after that, it's pretty much flat. And for the revenue, it is also looking really interesting. In 2023 and 2024, it is looking at an average of 5% increase, while in 2025, it is expected to see a decrease. Return on assets is sitting at 1.2%, which is a bit disappointing, but nothing to worry about. The most important number here is return on equity. Earlier in this video we saw that it was reported at 19% and not the 12% displayed here. Nevertheless, it's still a great number. Current ratio is at 45, which is way too high in my opinion. Definitely a number to keep your eye on. Total debt is sitting at 13 billion, and I prefer companies that can pay on at least a third of the total debt with the total cash position. Right now, total cash is sitting at 784 million, so they can't pay down a big chunk of their debt, which is something that I don't like. But keep in mind, companies like ABR issue a lot of debt to grow the business. But in the end, it's very important that free cash flow is growing, since this is used to pay down debt of course, but also to buy back shares, pay dividends and all other things. And in here we see that free cash flow is going up in the long run, so this is looking really good. Shares outstanding are increasing in the long run, which is very common for companies like ABR. Most recently they bought back some shares, which is shown in this graph. When shares outstanding are decreasing, it increases your ownership in the company, increases the EPS, lowers the PE ratio and makes it easier to maintain and increase the dividends. And since we're talking about dividends anyways, dividend yield is sitting at 10%, which is an insane number of course, and one of the main reasons why people buy this stock. Annual payout is at $1.68 and payout ratio is at 68% and not the 93% displayed here. Usually I prefer 50% or lower, but with companies like this it's most of the time in a range of 70 to 90%, so this is looking really good. The 5-year growth rate is at 16%, which is a great number, especially since dividend yield is already at 10%. They increased the dividends for 9 years in a row, which is also very impressive. And if you take a look at these numbers, the dividends paid since 2012, you see that ABR really likes to increase their dividend. In this graph we see the expected dividends in 2023, 2024 and 2025. Of course this is an estimation and can be highly impacted by results, but it gives you a rough indication. It is expected to grow at historical growth numbers, which is very nice. Overall these dividends look pretty good to me, but how about the historical returns? I decided to compare ABR stock with the overall market, in this case the S&P 500. Next to that I added some similar companies like OBDC and RC. On the 5-year chart we see that ABR crossed the S&P 500 and competitors with a 134% return including dividends. On the 1-year chart it is again ABR having the highest return, but the S&P 500 and OBDC are really close this time. On the 6-month chart it's pretty much the same story again. ABR returns 19% and beats the S&P 500 and other stocks in this list. On the 1-month chart it's again ABR that is having the highest return with 12%, but OBDC is also doing a great job beating the S&P 500 again with a decent margin. So bottom line, ABR beats the S&P 500 and competitors in the long run, but also most recently. But does this mean that ABR stock is a buy at current prices? Well, let's check the 3 price targets that I created using the Everything Money software, which is one of the best tools out there. I'm using a low, mid and high assumption to get the 3 price targets, starting off with revenue growth. For the revenue growth I'm filling in 2, 4 and 6%, based on current performance, their own outlook, but also because of the analyst. For the profit margin I'm filling in 40, 45 and 50%, based again on current performance. I put in slightly lower numbers for the free cash flow margin. For the PE ratio I'm putting in 10, 11 and 12, and for the price to free cash flow I'm putting in slightly higher numbers. It's not a fast growing company right now, and I don't expect them to be in the coming years. It will be a tough time for them, but they have shown to survive and recover historically. My desired annual return is 15%, since I can get an easy 10% average annual return with owning an ETF. Usually I put in 12.5%, but I want a higher margin of safety here. Right now ABR stock is at $15.86. I hit analyze and we only see one green number. We have a low price target of $9 to $11, which is a big drop from the current stock price. We have a mid price target of $11 to $14, which is still a decent drop. And we have a high price target of $14.5 to $17.5. To me, the high price target is the most justified. As said before, it's a great business that is capable of recovering time after time. I do think they are undervalued right now, but it has to be said that there are some interesting quarters and maybe even years ahead of them that really are going to shape this company, in my opinion. My final conclusion on this stock is that from a dividend point of view, things look really interesting. This is probably one of the main reasons why people buy this stock. And it has to be said, this was one of the reasons why I bought as well. For me, it's not a value play, but a pure dividend income stock. Whenever the price drops to, let's say, $10 to $12, I will increase my position again, unless fundamentals have drastically changed. For now, I'm waiting, and in the meantime I will be collecting the dividends to save up for a buying opportunity. Even though I think the stock is slightly undervalued right now, I'm waiting, and with the next earnings report being a really important one, I'm really looking forward to see a dip. And remember to always do your own research and never fully trust on what I or other YouTubers say about the stock. I'm not a financial advisor, and this content is just for entertaining purposes only. I hope you liked this video and I did bring some insights of the company to you. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to get notified when I'm posting a new video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.